Animal Crossing Switch has finally had gameplay showed off at today's E3 conference. The game has now been titled Animal Crossing New Horizon, and it releases March 20th, 2020. Unfortunately, that's not this year, but the gameplay looked amazing, so I'm okay. So while we wait for another 9 months, I think it's about time we talk about that amazing gameplay trailer. So today, I'm going to be going scene by scene to analyze it as much as I possibly can. Now before we start, a lot of this was written before the treehouse happened, so whenever something from the treehouse comes up, I'll make sure to insert it. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Also, let me know if I missed something in the comments. I really just want to know everything about this game as I possibly can. The trailer starts with someone or something talking. They say,
"Your attention, please. The Nook Inc. Getaway Package charter flight will soon be arriving at the deserted island."
Now, do I think this means we will get voice acting? Most likely not. I think it'll be exclusively at the start of the game, assuming this is even in the game at all. So the dialogue says that they're arriving on a deserted island. From this, I think it's safe to assume there won't be any building there from the start of the game. There is a chance though that Tom Nook will have his small store at the start. Another question is, are Tom Nook, his nephews, and our character the only people on this flight? While it does take a while to see a villager in the trailer, it is possible a few villagers did join you on your flight. With a presumed lack of buildings, will you be able to help create more, such as the Able Sisters or upgrade Tom Nook's store? I presume yes. Also, will you be able to build a town hall? Isabelle is a big part of the franchise and she doesn't seem to have a place in this game yet. Wow, I've already talked so much and we haven't even gotten into the gameplay yet. We start the scene off at the beach, and while there isn't much to say, the beach is lined with coconut trees, which is a fruit you normally had to get from the island in New Leaf. Since this game takes place on an island itself, it makes sense to have the palm trees already there. Also, at the corner, it seems like we'll be able to more easily transition from the main area to the beach, as in New Leaf we had to go down ramps, but now it seems like we can get there from almost anywhere on the mainland. Also, interestingly, it seems an extra coconut has fallen off of one of the palm trees right here. Could fruit possibly fall on their own? It is also right in front of the tree instead of to the side, which would mean the player would have had to pick it up and move it, which doesn't make much sense to me. I think the fruit most likely spawned there. We then see a clip of the player after setting up their tent. To the right of them, we see a stick on the ground, which I presume may have automatically fallen from the tree. In the clip, we can see the player shaking the tree to get multiple sticks, which seems to be usable in the new crafting system. We then enter Tom Nook's store. We see him in there with either Timmy or Tommy, so it seems like they may share the same store. We know from the treehouse that we can buy furniture and sell items to Timmy. To the right, we also see a machine which I'm going to guess will allow you to order furniture. However, it could be for a completely different purpose. Also, since the player is wearing the same outfit as they were when they set up their tent, I'm going to guess that this clip takes place on the same day, most likely being the first day. Since this does most likely take place on the first day, I presume you will be able to upgrade this store. Now we finally get into the point of this clip, which was the crafting. We see that the player used the sticks to construct a flimsy axe. In the treehouse, we also see that we are able to craft furniture and many other things as well. It also seems that we can craft furniture using other furniture items, such as the campfire being used to craft the bonfire. We also have to unlock recipes by getting new materials or meeting new villagers. In the next clip, we see them use an axe to get wood, which will be a different item from the sticks. They also seem to get 2 different types of wood. The treehouse revealed that these items will be used separately in different recipes. In our next clip, we see the player getting 3 different types of rocks from this big rock. I would assume these will also be used in crafting. My question is though, will this replace the money rock? The player seems to be getting them as if they were from the money rock, so I'm not sure. We then see the player on the beach, and finally get confirmation that we will be able to place furniture outside, which is huge. Now, I am curious to see if all furniture will be able to place outside or not. Same goes with indoors. We see the player has placed 6 items on the beach, and seeing as they are wearing the same clothes as the clips from before, this makes me think that these 6 items in particular will be easy to craft or purchase. In the background, we also see apple trees, which seems to confirm that each town will start with 2 different fruits, one for the beach and one for the mainland. We then get a small time-lapse of a player's day playing the game. The camera is locked in place, so I assume this was just done from the trailer and won't be in the actual game. We see the player place down several items among these plant things. From what we get later on in the trailer, these seem to be flowers. Flowers seem like they will have to grow now, but we will get into that a little later. We also see the player water the plants with a brand new wooden watering can. I'm also going to assume that this game's tools will break, as I don't see what the purpose of crafting a new tool would be after making the wooden version of it. Maybe the more expensive tools will do their jobs faster or better too, like the silver or golden variants of the previous games. After they place down a few new pieces of furniture, they go fishing with what seems to be a brand new fishing rod made of sticks, judging by the leaf at the end of it. The net also seems to be a wooden version and is also triangular. The player then comes back with an umbrella made of leaves. This item isn't new, but I wonder if it will be craftable. We then see the player interact with one of the pieces of furniture outside, which confirms we will be able to use the furniture outside. We then get a brand new tool that allows you to jump over bodies of water. We also see that the town seems to be multi-layered again, instead of being mostly flat aside from the beach like in New Leaf. In our next clip, we see our first villager, being Olivia. Olivia is sitting on the ground, which wasn't something villagers could do before. We also see the player dig up an entire tree with a wooden shovel, which was also something you could not do before. They seem to get a brand new item from doing this, which seems to be a sapling that you may be able to plant or sell. The trailer then jumps to winter with two villagers, Freya and Eunice, talking in front of one of their homes. Speaking of their home, it seems to me that it has an extra room which villagers' houses could not before. The player is also rolling a snowball to another bigger snowball, which seems to confirm the return of the snowmen. The player then enters another villager's home, and while everything seems normal, if you look to the left, it seems like you'll be able to purchase your own workbench for your home. Maybe each workbench could even craft different items. The clip then jumps to a scene of the player using a brand new item to make paths. This was very exciting to see, and also, if you look at the house, the paths seem to smoothly connect to the buildings, which is always a gripe I had with the previous games. At the bottom right, we also see a wooden workbench. We also see the villager Hamlet watering some flowers. Finally, for this clip, we see the same tree surrounded by growing flowers from the time-lapse, however, the flowers seem to be grown up a little bit. We then get a clip of the same area, but a little bit later on. We first see that the flowers have finally grown up to be tulips. The player is able to pick up the top part and leave the bottom part to presumably bloom again. We also see that door decorations could be added to doors now, as in the previous clip the door didn't have any flowers on it, but now it does. We then see that furniture will be able to be placed on pathways. Finally, we see Goldie sitting on the swing set. Then we get a shot of the player running through their town. We see that fences can be placed, and I presume anywhere. I'm not sure if this is because of the beach, but it seems like the paths can also be rounded at the end. We then get to see that we will be able to play multiplayer with at least 8 players, where before we could only do 4. In the shot where they are all standing together, we see one in the back, presumably in their inventory, and 2, being this one and the main player, seem to have a backpack and a knapsack. Will these allow you to carry more items, or are they just for decoration? We then see another player pull out a phone. From the treehouse, we saw that we could take pictures, get mileage points, hold recipes, look at a map, and call villagers using the phone. Calling villagers will allow you to play with up to 4 players in local multiplayer. We also see this phone mentioned by Tom Nook when giving the player their bill. Speaking of which, we get a confirmation that bells will still be in the game. Now for some other things that were shown in the treehouse that weren't really related to anything else I said, being you could place homes on the beach, craftable items can stack, items are sorted by materials needed to craft them, clams can be collected and used as bait for fish, villagers can now carry around more items such as the wood seen here, you can choose the location of your island, such as if you want it in the northern or southern hemisphere, and the main form of transportation will be by plane. But anyways, that's just about covered everything I gathered from this video. Are you guys hyped for Animal Crossing New Horizon? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.